I've already filmed this, but it was really stream of conscious, which is not what I like this channel to be. I like it to be pretty consistent and have actual points be made in the video. But yes, I know I said in my car seat headrest review a little while back that that would probably be my album of the year, but deep down, I kind of knew Casey would pull through for me in terms of their latest release, which is titled Where I Go When I Am Sleeping. And they did. I expected nothing less really from Casey, from their first single, which I hope I get this right. I think it was Fluorescence. From their first single up until now, with the album that came out a few weeks ago. Yeah, I just knew that I would get the enjoyment I expected to get from it. And I know that my audience for this channel isn't really a massive fan of stuff like melodic hardcore and post-hardcore sort of shit, but I really think that this album could be the way into the genre for a lot of people, especially now. Like, they have a pretty big discography in terms of the bands, their contemporaries. They've got an EP release and 2 albums now. And yeah, while I would say that their EP and previous release, Love Is Not Enough, would be a bit too rough for people, I really think that this new album could be the start of your Casey journey. But enough about that. The album itself is, yeah, like I was saying, probably my album of the year. I don't think there's anything coming out throughout the rest of this year that could top it, but I'm open to surprises. But yes, it's such a step forward for their songwriting capabilities, or at least Tom Weaver's, their lead vocalist, his songwriting capabilities, and sonically as well. The band have just progressed so much from the previous album. Like, listening to Love Is Not Enough now, comparing it to this latest release, you can tell that it's a lot rougher, and Tom's voice is buried under all these rough guitars and so on. But on this new album, we get almost the complete opposite. It's a lot more calmer at points. It's a lot more cleaner, especially with the fact that most of the songs on here feature Tom doing clean vocals. And I think that's a lot to do with the songwriting and the subject matter for both the records. Love Is Not Enough tackled Tom coming out of a relationship and finding it hard to, move on and process it, especially with the mental health issues that he was dealing with. And I believe that's why the album was a lot more, violent and rougher in terms of how it was delivered. And then we get this new album, Where I Go When I Am Sleeping, which deals with him, growing from that. I believe Love Is Not Enough was him, expressing the pain and anger and anguish he felt over that relationship. And while it's touched on again on this new record, it's a lot more hopeful, especially with songs like Bruise, especially Bruise. But this album more touches on the mental health issues and other issues such as colitis and, I don't know the name of it, the brittle bone disease that means you break your bones or fracture your bones easier. And I believe that's why this album's a lot more calmer and a lot more emotional. And I like it a lot more because of that. Not to say I couldn't relate to Love Is Not Enough, but as someone who has dealt with mental health issues myself, I can relate to this album a whole lot more, and I'm sure a lot of people can find something to relate to on this record. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, there's a lot more clean vocals from Tom this time around, and I definitely appreciate that, and I definitely think it makes Casey more accessible to people just stepping into the genre. And they do it so well. Tom does it so well. He's such a talented singer, be it rough delivery or clean delivery. And the two songs in the middle that really utilize this performance from him, Flowers by the Bed and Needlework, truly showcase how talented he is. And it's not just Tom that gets his opportunity to shine. The band give us 3 instrumental tracks on this record, and the percussion, especially the drumming, is just phenomenal. I really think this album is like ahead of the pack in terms of the genre, and I cannot believe that we get almost post-rock sort of shit from a melodic hardcore band. The title track, which is also an instrumental, it touches on, like, you can hear the influences from bands like Explosions in the Sky and so on. It's baffling to me that, one, they even attempted it, and 2, that it came out so well. But it shouldn't, personally, it shouldn't surprise me, because KC, I know, are a talented bunch of individuals. But yeah, I cannot recommend this album enough, especially if you're a fan of melodic hardcore. But if you're only entering the genre and you're a bit afraid of, shouting, you can start with Flowers by the Bed, especially. That one's, it gives you a real taste of the subject matter for the album. It gives you a taste of the kind of music Casey play, and then you can move on to songs like Bruise, which is one of my personal favorites, and it has a rougher outro to it with Tom, showing off his rough vocal melodies. But yes, Casey's Where I Go When I Am Sleeping. It's just, I've debated making this video because I know I can't do it justice with this sort of review format where I just sort of ramble. But yeah, I cannot recommend it enough. Bruise especially. Bruise is coming off the back of Love Is Not Enough. The fact that it's Tom being more hopeful with the wreck that past relationship left him in, and him saying that he's found someone else, and he's found someone that is willing to care for him even though he hasn't truly opened up yet. Oh man, I'm not doing it justice, but yeah, check out this album, please. Check out the rest of Casey's discography, please. Just show Casey the support they deserve, because they are leading the pack in terms of melodic hardcore and stuff, and I'm so excited to hear what comes from them next. And I know that shouldn't be the attitude. It should be more like, appreciate this album now, live with it for this album cycle, and look forward to the newest album when a single drops from it. But no, their progression just leaves me wanting so much more, and I know they can do so much more, and that's why I'm excited. But I'll stop rambling. I will shut myself up, and I will leave you to decide whether to go listen to it, but I really think you should. So yeah, go check out Casey's discography, check out my channel, the rest of my videos, leave a like on this one or whatever. I have social media links in the description as well if you want to follow me on Instagram or some shit like that. And yeah, I'll see you in another video when I decide to make one. Goodbye.